Afternoon. This is Ifan from the Strategic Day Trader, and this is your market wrap for July 27th, 2020. SPY's up 0.74 here, Q's up 1.78. Really been uptrending this afternoon. All right, going into today, into the weekend here, and then the start of today, we're looking for a sell setup here in the Q's to form. We do have it now. We've moved up into this declining 20. So underneath here, around underneath 259, right, is going to be our critical point in time here. If we break underneath that and actually go lower, okay, that'll be the start of our bearish bias. If we break under 259 and then we're actually don't follow through, we go back up, we start to stay above this 20 MA that we have, that we're above right now, that's telling us this hourly doesn't actually want to go lower. Okay, so the basis for today's bearish bias, or at least watching for this sell setup to initiate the bearish bias, comes from the recent lower high and lower low here that we have on the Qs. Okay, so going into tomorrow, that's what we'll be watching for. If we don't break underneath that, the neutral, okay, if we get we do try to go lower and then we fail on it, meaning we go right back up, right, and get back above today's high, then we'll be bullish. All right, so that's what we're going to be watching for. Interesting area here. You can see last time we were in this area, we got this like pretty sloppy chop. It could be worse. I've seen worse, but definitely got a little bit choppy in here, kind of resting at the support after the drop, and that resolved higher. Okay, so we're back into this area here where really have to wait and see. Okay, that's going to be the approach I'm going to be taking, looking to see if we break under 259, do we get follow through lower? Okay, if we break underneath, maybe we retest close to today's low, and then we go back up over the course of this week. Then it'll be back to bullish. All right, so that's what we'll be on the lookout for. We do have some big earnings coming up this week, so we may get some gaps here and there in the Qs and SPY. Okay, but going into tomorrow, neutral until we get that break or that hourly sell setup to trigger. Okay, all right, and then on the SPY here, pretty much the same thing. Going to be underneath this around 322. Okay, underneath 322, we got to see what we're going to do here. If we're going to actually get back to Friday's lows, then we'll be bearish. If we trigger and then we break back over, we'll be bullish. Otherwise, kind of in between here, just going to be waiting and watching. Okay. All right, now to get into today's plays here. The first play that we had was on the Riot this morning. We played this morning as a breakout. This morning over the highs here, over 274 was the play there. We got a nice little kind of a shakeout going on. It was like moving up, and you see it tried to come in. So right back over that. All right, first target was 310. Was 3, and then I thought 3 is a little bit too small, moved it up. So when we got to 308, I said that's close enough. Let's go ahead and take half. The back half ended up coming back in though, so we did end up trailing the back half. So it wasn't a very big play. I had bigger expectations for this Riot, looking like maybe on the daily here we were going to really establish this uptrend, you know, and transition out of this weekly downtrend. Look at the base rising 20 here. So maybe it happens tomorrow. Just didn't really go as far as I would have wanted. Made some on it, just not as big of a play as I would have liked on the Riot. I guess they never really are, but definitely had expectations for a decent target 2. We only got a target 1, which was fine. That was about 2 Rs there on the front half. Just the back half came in, trailed it out here. Did give it another shot here on the Riot in the over lunch here, and that was kind of like this 15-minute buy setup here with a secondary entry. Couldn't get to the target and then end up failing on the Riot. So Riot wasn't able to follow through there on try number 2. The nicest play I had today was this MARA, which is also at lunch. Okay, it was mostly sideways through the morning. You see, tried to kind of make a new high, but it was holding up okay, then came back into retest the previous pivot there. And then we got this nice consolidation here. So this was a nice tight stop here. It was over 150 by 141. So a nice like 9 cent stop there, and it got to 172 there. But then again on this one, the back half wasn't really able to continue the trend there. Did have to trail this out underneath the hourly. So a couple of plays here that had, I thought, big potential and definitely gave a decent enough target one, but didn't end up paying on the back half. So that was kind of the story for today. Perhaps it's just because there were other things in focus, or this is all that they had in store for today's move. So overall glad that those work, but not huge plays. Okay. All right, I think we'll have some much nicer and potentially bigger plays here as the week goes on. Got lots of earnings this week, so we have that to look forward to. Okay, and I think maybe that'll kind of give the market here some guidance on what the next direction is going to be. Okay, all right, I hope you did well today. We'll be back at it tomorrow, and I'll talk to you then. Have a good evening.